Okay, this is the bowl that again was thrown on my Pacifica wheel. It's a little larger than some of my others, but the pattern's got a couple more steps in it. I kind of like this piece when it was done. But anyway, it's leather hard. It's been stained with the same stain as I've used before that'll turn sort of a satin black when it's fired. And I'm just adding some of the basic outlines for the patterns that go around in different sections of the bowl. So it's leather hard. It's actually pretty firm leather hard. Gives me a nice clean edge. And here I am starting to add a few more little details into the pattern. It goes all the way around the top ring. This piece, when it's thrown again, is on the Pacifica wheel. It's from a commercial clay that I buy in Albuquerque, which is pretty plastic, but the grog is not too large, which again is for, with the little loop tools I have, larger grog would cause a problem. It'd be nice to throw some larger pieces, but this clay here won't throw really large pieces. So it's, again, thrown on Pacifica, but I have it on one of my Lockerbie wheels for the actual carving of the piece. And the tools, again, I make those, I use different types of brush handles or other old Kemper tools, and I just add music wire loops to the end of them. Sometimes they're kind of an elliptical shape on the end. Sometimes they're rectangular or square. Sometimes they're more circular, and they're a little narrower and a little wider. But it just gives me different types of grooves that I may need or want at any time when I'm carving a pot. So that's what the majority of my carving is done with. I have a few other commercial tools that I really haven't used too much, and I've seen other people do pretty well with them. So I may work with them a little bit to try to figure out. Some of them may just take larger areas off at one time. The blades are a little more solid. But again, I've got this sitting on here. The bat that it's sitting on is a particle board bat. I've made a bunch of particle board bats with the commercial countertop material glued to the top of them. They last for a long time. They have alignment pins on the bottom, so I can just set them on the bat, and they're lined up. But then I have one of the commercial bats sitting on top of it right now, the black plastic piece, and so it's just sitting there as I rotate it. It hasn't actually popped loose yet from the bat. I usually let it do it on its own. I don't usually cut them off. And when they're popped loose, I'll take them to my other Pacifica wheel, and I'll clean up the bottom with a nice footing on it. You can see a little bit of that in that view right there. This piece had the base on it cleaned up before I started the carving. So basically here I'm going through here with the pattern again, just repeating this. In this case here, there's 16 sections of that pattern go all the way around. On the bat down below, you can see some circular outside diameter rings that are put on with a permanent marker. But there's also a few marks there breaking the piece up into sections so I can visually get an idea of where I'm at and space them out equally all the way around. So here I'm adding the basic lines to another pattern at the base of the bow, even though it's upside down. It's actually on the base. It's a little different than the pattern just below it, but they do fit together well, I think. So here the piece is pretty far along. This piece, when it's fired, will be cleaned up. Just some fine little details will be cleaned up, and then the piece will be allowed to go to air dry, and it'll sit for a day or two. Then it'll be put in the kiln. It'll be fired to cone 5 in my Scott kiln, and that the clay will change color over to sort of a medium natural brown, not too dark, not too light, and then the stain will have that satin black to give a nice little contrast between the surfaces. And when it shrinks down a little bit, it tightens up some of the edges also on the pattern, just makes it a little more refined. So this is a different size piece, but like I say, I like to carve large mirror frames that are like this. They're kind of unique just by the size. They're almost 32 inches in diameter.